All right, hey, this is Brent Attaway with 10X Marketing. I am going to be showing you on this week's Whiteboard Wednesday on how you can take a strategy session campaign and really turn it into a lead generation funnel that you constantly get strategy sessions. I'm going to show you why that's good for you. Well, I don't even have to show you why, I guess. You know why that's good for you. You want more strategy sessions as a coach, consultant, or speaker, then you're going to close more gigs as a speaker. You're going to close more sales over the phone with your strategy sessions as a coach or mentor or consultant. Or if you have your own sales team that does this, it doesn't matter. You can have them all go to your sales team strategy sessions and actually close more sales. Get more leads, close more sales. So before I continue, I want to remind you of the wonderful thing that I'm completely addicted to and have been for some years now, and I'm going to admit it. I'm completely addicted to LSD. Now, there's two types of LSD that I know of. One is the one that I don't use, probably, that you're thinking, is the drug. That's a no-no for me. I don't like doing things personally that kill me. So the other one on LSD that I'm talking about, just as a reminder here before I go into these funnels, are leads, sales, and delivery. Okay? So this is very simple. This is nothing new, right? This is actually your business model in summary, LSD. You get leads, convert them to sales, and deliver your services. In this case, as a coach and consultant, then you're delivering your coaching packages, programs, whatever it is that you just sold them here, right? So that's LSD. Make sure you remember this model, because what I'm showing you really hits on generating leads and how to get them to a sale. I'm not going to be talking about delivery in today's Whiteboard Wednesday discussion, okay? So let me get out the handy old eraser here. And let's go over exactly how to turn some or get more leads and sales. So first of all, I'm going to show you 3 different campaigns that lead to a strategy session, okay? So here's what I mean. I'm going to put strategy, and I want you to look at this architecturally as well. I know most of you watching this is you probably not interested in how it's built as much as you just want to know that it works, right? But I need to show you a little bit of how this is built or works, so you know how to actually get this done in your business and how it works when you go actually try to build it or hire somebody to build it. You need to know that it's being done right. This is what I found works best. Basically, as you know, I like using Infusionsoft and whatever page builder out there it is. We like OptimizePress. So I'll put those tools up here. So Infusionsoft plus OptimizePress. Okay, those are the tools I'm going to be discussing or that you would be using to build these. The campaign that we're going to drive all our leads to is a strategy session campaign. Okay, and I'll outline what that means in a minute. The actual 3 campaigns that I'm going to show you, there's 3, see the 3? We're going to show you are the free cheat sheet campaign. Then you've got the free video series, or just video. It doesn't have to be video series, by the way, but I'm going to write video series in this case. Okay, and then you've got a free webinar. Okay. All right. That says webinar. All right. So these are all these rectangles right here. These 4 rectangles, 3 over here, all lead to here. Those just represent separate campaigns. They can operate without each other. In fact, they don't rely on each other. Okay. So what I mean by rely on each other, they don't have to get a free cheat sheet in order to get the free video series, or vice versa. They don't have to get the free cheat sheet before a strategy session. What if someone just says, hey, I want to talk to you, someone referred me to you, my friend said you're a great coach or consultant on this topic. then you would just put them right into your strategy session campaign and say, good, sign up for a strategy session. And then this would handle that, okay? So that's why you want these working independently from each other. But what I'm saying is if you can get all of these working, you'll have a constant flow of leads and convert them to sales. So right here, this is our L in our LSD. I'm probably going off screen here for a second. This is our L in the LSD right here, right? This is our sales. And again, I'm not doing delivery on this one. So leads, sales. Free cheat sheet. I don't have time to go in explain these. In fact, there's probably other Whiteboard Wednesdays I've talked specifically just about this campaign alone. But a free cheat sheet is an opt-in page, opt-in to a thank you page. Thank you page also says, hey, thanks for downloading my free cheat sheet. It's on its way. You'll see that in about 10 minutes in your inbox. In the meantime, if you're someone who wants to get going now in your fitness and in your weight loss or whatever the topic is, let's use fitness and weight loss today, then what you want to do now is sign up for a free strategy session. Here's how my strategy session works. And you go into that video script, okay? This is, by the way, is best if it's a video on the thank you page, especially if you want to gain immediate trust with them. They know you're a real person, because right here was just a cheat sheet, right? It's just a download. This is great to get their trust immediately on that video. And all that does is have a button here that links to this campaign, okay? All right. So I'll come back to what this campaign does in a minute. I'm going to go through these other two. The next one is your free video series campaign you would want to build. The free video series looks like this. Opt-in. That's a O-I, by the way. Opt-in. Thank you. Same thing. Button that invites them here. Okay? But the video series whole purpose in this, what I would advise you do is have about 3 videos. Each one of these are videos. And these come, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, or you can skip a day in between all of them. Depends on how fast you want to move through it and what you think is necessary. But overall, you're pretty much safe doing every other day or every day for your videos, okay? With that said, each video, so let's say they don't take action here to the strategy session campaign. Well, at the end of this video, guess what you invite them to do? Strategy session. Into this video, strategy session. Into this video, strategy session. Okay? That's a great video series that just goes right to the sale. Okay? You can have other video series that you're probably familiar with or have heard that do other things. The invite isn't a strategy session, it's for something else. But in this case, I always advise my coaching and consulting clients that they should be having a video series specifically just that continually invite to a strategy session. These videos are all educational, give them great content, and invite to a strategy session. All right? It's very similar to what you're watching now. At the end of all my, or almost all of my Whiteboard Wednesday discussions on the whiteboard, I'm going to invite you to a strategy session with me or someone on my team that will go over this with you, right? So same thing. You should be doing the same thing. Be helpful, offer more. All right, free webinar. Free webinar is, we'll call it an opt-in, but I'm just going to say, it's the same as an opt-in, but it's this, they register for the webinar, okay? So you invite them to a webinar. By the way, you can run ads or referrals or your list right here. Any of those would drive leads here, okay? Ads, referrals, or list. Your existing list is what I mean by that. Register for my webinar. Thank you. Offer. While you're waiting to attend the webinar, if you're someone who likes to get going right now and you want to talk with somebody on my team or myself personally, I'm happy to give you a free strategy session. Thank you video again, okay? Now, the webinar itself then comes to, you have your reminders and everything that goes on right here, whatever happens here. You remind your webinar, and let's say this is your webinar delivery. This is the actual webinar that's playing, either live or recorded, doesn't matter. Then you would have on the webinar, you could even if you didn't have like this special offer where you wanted to say it's a $3,000 coaching package, you could easily say, here's my pricing, let's say it's $3,000, $3K, but I don't want you to pay this. I just want to talk with you first before we decide. And that's what you would offer. So your offer would be, hey, do you want my coaching package? It's typically this much. I'm happy to give you a discounted version of this. But first, before you even decide, why don't we talk first so you don't have to decide now? And that takes the pressure off of them, but also it gives you a chance to qualify them as a great client and then get payment over the phone. Or again, if it's not you doing these, it can be your sales team right here, okay? Now, let me explain what this is. So, or let me review this. We got a free cheat sheet, opt in to a thank you page, invite to strategy session. Free cheat sheet to a video series, and then, or excuse me, free video series to a strategy session, free webinar to a strategy session. Now, feel free, what I always do for our clients, what we do is we strategize on how we can actually connect these together, right? So you can say free cheat sheet, they don't take action on here, well, then put them in the free video series if they don't take action on the strategy session. And then they'll watch the video series and they might take action there. If they don't, then put them in the webinar. And then they'll watch the webinar and do that. Now, you might ask what the content is in all these. The content's the same exact dang thing. The free cheat sheet is a summary of what you would teach in your video series. Your webinar is a full version of all your videos basically put together. You're just teaching it in a webinar format. It's all the same content, all the same call to action if you want it to be. Now, if you have different products, you can have different calls to action. But for a coach or consultant, usually you have one or two products in coaching or consulting, right? So that's why I'm saying you can connect all of these together how you want them. But even if you just have one, at least have the free cheat sheet. And then you can build onto your campaigns and have this one and this one. This right here, can you imagine what this would do for your business if you had all three? And can you see how that would actually help you? I love being able to do this. We have this in my own fitness and nutrition company that my wife runs, and then we built it for multiple clients in 10X, of course. So let me explain, last thing before we wrap this up, let me just explain briefly what the strategy session campaign looks like, because it's not just a phone call. You want to make this easy on you and them, but most of all, you don't want to talk to just anybody because it's a waste of your time. I know you've experienced this. If you're watching this, you're probably an experienced coach or consultant, and you've experienced the waste of time on phone calls, and so these can be painful. The reason why is probably because you're not doing it right or qualifying your clients right. So here's how I do it. So what this, if I was to zoom in to this campaign right here and say what's inside of this, first, when my call to action, they would come to a what I call a warning page or a pre-framing page, okay? And it's just text. And it says, before you sign up for this free strategy session, and you go on to the next page that I'm going to share with you, all right, the application, I want you to know that the results I'm getting for myself and for my clients are not typical. And I just want to get that out of the way because I want you to understand that what we're going to discuss is all, in theory, going to work, but until you try it out, we don't know. So you don't want to like make them, it's almost the reverse sales psychology, right? So, but it's not really a tactic. You're just trying to let them know the results I get from my clients, they're not typical. So please don't expect anything on this except let's just talk. As long as you're okay with that, click here. And what I do is I click there and that pops open one of those opt-in where you just get their name and email and their phone number right now, okay? Name, email, phone number. Once I get that, I take them to the next page, which then explains the details of the strategy session, who you're looking for, all the qualifications of what that is. And then you say, okay, great, if this is you, click here. And they fill out an actual application where you fill in some blanks here, an application here. And then they submit the application. Once they submit the application, so now we got 1, 2, 3 steps in this campaign. Once they submit the application, it notifies your team, and you can even do an automated version here where it's scheduling. So I'll call this scheduling. And this campaign basically gives you your scheduling stuff. So we do automated scheduling with Appointment Core, which links to Infusionsoft. And Appointment Core is kind of like a time trade or whatever, all the other products, but Appointment Core integrates directly with Infusionsoft. So what we do is we look at their application first and say, great, they're a good fit. Add them to the scheduling campaign, and it just automatically sends them out an email with a link. They click on the link, they schedule themselves into your calendar here, then it notifies you and it shows up. You have your actual phone call right here, and you close the sale. Okay? So that's kind of the whole overview of this week's Whiteboard Wednesday. Hopefully this was helpful. 3 campaigns all leading to strategy session. You can even automate the strategy session and your scheduling if you would like to. Not necessary if you don't want to on the scheduling, but I would highly advise you at least have this in place because it pre-qualifies all those phone calls so you don't deal with all the tire kickers, okay? Or time vampires, as Dan Kennedy calls them. So like that is that in a nutshell. That's a big nutshell, right? Is how ideally you should have a minimum of this set up if you want a real substantial consulting and coaching business. I hope this has been helpful for you today. Again, this is Brent Attaway with 10X Marketing. So if you want my team and my help personally to build this, that's what we do. So if you want help getting all your web pages done, all your Infusionsoft campaigns, linking up all of this, there's a team out there that knows and is the best at that, and it's 10X Marketing. And I can say that hands down because I've worked with a lot of teams. That's my team that I've built personally to make sure high-paid consultants and coaches and speakers get the right campaigns to get the best leads possible and close sales and deliver their services. So if you want our help, there should be some kind of link below the page, below the video, I'm guessing. So just click there and you can take action from there. But in the meantime, stay tuned till next week on our Whiteboard Wednesday. We'll go over some more specifics next week on certain campaigns, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks.